Senator Baldwin, and then Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, you recently visited the Constellation class frigate shipyard in Marinette, Wisconsin. And when we met, I was glad to hear that you had a positive impression of the workforce, use of technology, and private investments into the yard infrastructure and operations. The skilled Wisconsinites who helped build the frigate are proud of their contributions to U.S. national security, and I'm glad that you had an opportunity to meet with them. I understand the program's future is under review, so I want to highlight the progress made in its design. I understand that 85% of the functional design products have been approved by the Navy, with the remaining sections to be completed later this summer. There have also been improvements in workforce recruitment and retention, with the latter improving by 40%. These two key metrics show a shipbuilding program that is getting back on track. And I continue to believe that the frigate must be a key part of President Trump's goal to grow the size and capability of the Navy fleet, as well as revitalize the maritime industry, including in the Great Lakes region. So, Mr. Secretary, can you please share your plans for the frigate program?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. I know a very important one to you, and I enjoyed our time in your office. Look, the frigate program has a number of challenges, and I am currently evaluating it, both as it fits in the overall force posture and in the program itself. At the end of the day, and I also appreciate the investment that's been made by Fincantieri into the shipyard. What I would say, and I probably should have said it earlier, is we have more ships to build than we can for 10 years that our shipyards can handle. So I am not concerned about work for shipyards in America. We cannot build what we need today. We can't come close. So there is an enormous amount that needs to be done. So I look forward to chatting with you more. We're still going through this as it relates to the frigate program and the challenges that are currently in place with it. And I will follow up with you on that once we've made a decision.
And I have a follow-on question on this topic. I know that you and President Trump share my concern that China is outpacing us dramatically, both in shipbuilding, both militarily and commercially, and that we need to take action to level the playing field because they're cheating. That work began with the United States Trade Representative's Section 301 investigation into China's shipbuilding dominance. The actions that the USTR has taken in response to that investigation and the introduction of the bipartisan Ships for America Act. But we really do need, Mr. Secretary, a whole-of-government approach to ensure success and strengthen our shipyards here at home. I was concerned to hear that you have made comments indicating that you are open to all options to build ships as quickly as possible. So, Mr. Secretary, do you plan to pursue building U.S. military vessels in foreign countries?
Senator, thank you for the question. Look, all options have to be on the table. The way I look at this is we have a short-term issue and a longer-term issue. The short-term issue is, to your point on China and the number of ships, we need to get hulls in the water, and I need to figure out how to do that as fast as we can. And
so the answer is yes, you're considering
we're considering it. All options, as I said, are on the table. I think at the end of the day, the long run of what we are trying to do and what the president really wants to have happen is to build out our maritime industrial base, to look at, can we expand capacity at existing yards? Do we need new yards?
So I just want to underscore, I am a strong believer in using U.S. tax dollars to support U.S. workers and U.S. businesses, and I believe in Buy America policies for building naval ships. Just want to put that on the record. Finally, I want to ask you to uphold the integrity of your office by not caving into political partisan pressures to rename a whole fleet of ships honoring civil rights leaders. When Secretary Hegseth was before this committee, I made clear that his spiteful decision to rename the U.S. naval ship Harvey Milk and intentionally do so during Pride Month disparages not only Navy veteran Harvey Milk, but countless service members who were and continue to be wrongfully discharged. The John Lewis class of ships honors American leaders such as Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Harriet Tubman, and Robert F. Kennedy for their efforts to combat inequality. If you proceed with renaming the Harvey Milk, will you also rename the U.S. naval ship Robert F. Kennedy?
Senator, thank you for the question. I know it's an important topic to you.
And to many.
And to many, absolutely. I think we are reviewing all naval installations and ships and making sure they align with the priorities of the President and the Secretary of Defense that they've outlined.
This committee will continue to pursue serious work in the interests of American national security, and I ask you to choose to join us in that endeavor, and I hope that we can agree that there's more important work to do than what we're just discussing.